Joe Rogan just dropped a bombshell that has everyone's jaw on the floor. During his latest podcast, he revealed how JD Vance's wife actually caught Erika Kirk and JD together, and the details are absolutely insane. What started as quiet whispers behind doors has now turned into a full-blown scandal that's shaking up both political and influencer circles. People can't believe Rogan actually said it out loud, and if what he's hinting at is true, this could destroy reputations and marriages overnight. Buckle up, because what Joe exposed might just be the most shocking revelation of the year. The internet is absolutely losing it after Joe Rogan dropped one of the wildest revelations ever during his podcast this week. Out of nowhere, he hinted that JD Vance's wife actually caught Erika Kirk and JD together. And the moment he said it, fans knew something serious had gone down. Rogan didn't even seem to realize what he was revealing at first. It slipped out casually, but the internet caught it instantly. Within minutes, social media was flooded with clips, timestamps, and endless theories about what really happened between JD and Erika. Joe was discussing how public figures underestimate how easily private secrets can unravel when he said something that made the room go silent. You can't be sneaking around when your wife literally walks in on you. That's wild. He didn't mention names immediately, but fans instantly connected the dots. It wasn't hard to guess who he meant. The rumors about JD Vance and Erika Kirk have been bubbling for months. And this seemed like confirmation straight from someone who's heard it all behind closed doors. People who follow political gossip know that Erika Kirk has had a complicated public image for a while now. She's the widow of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And after his passing, she's been spotted at multiple private events with JD events that were supposed to be professional but quickly raised eyebrows. Photos began circulating of the two sharing what fans called too much chemistry. And JD's wife, Vance, reportedly started growing suspicious long before Rogan's bombshell. Insiders claim that Usha had already noticed something off in JD's behavior. He'd started working later than usual, taking more private calls, and becoming strangely protective of his phone. Then came the night that changed everything. According to one insider familiar with the situation, Usha decided to surprise JD at a private event where he said he'd be meeting with donors. But when she arrived, what she found wasn't business at all. Sources claim Usha walked in and saw Erika Kirk and JD talking in low voices in a dimly lit room, and the tension in the air was undeniable. One witness at the venue recalled that Usha looked stunned, like she couldn't even process what she was seeing. JD reportedly jumped up, immediately trying to explain that it was all a misunderstanding. But Erika's reaction said it all. She looked panicked. Whatever was going on, it clearly wasn't something they wanted seen. The moment turned chaotic, with Usha demanding answers and JD fumbling to calm things down while other attendees awkwardly tried to pretend they hadn't noticed. After that night, people close to the couple said Usha completely changed her attitude toward JD. She stopped appearing with him at public events and reportedly started spending more time away from DC altogether. Meanwhile, JD's public appearances became tense. Fans noticed how different he seemed, distracted, tired, and constantly avoiding questions about his personal life. Joe Rogan's revelation now makes sense in hindsight. For months, he's had guests who were close to both JD and Erika. And he's hinted multiple times that the DC social world is far messier than it looks. But this time, Rogan wasn't hinting. He was confirming. When his co-host tried to pivot away from the subject, Joe laughed and said, "Come on, man. Everyone in DC already knows what went down. I'm not saying anything new." That line sent the internet into overdrive. People started connecting. Everything, the deleted photos, the awkward silences during interviews, the canceled joint appearances. Erika Kirk had been unusually quiet online for weeks, and now fans think they know exactly why. Some are even suggesting that JD's political allies pressured him to clean up the situation before it turned into a scandal that could damage his image permanently. Several close sources claim that Vance's confrontation didn't end that night. She reportedly demanded JD cut all ties with Erika, and when he hesitated, she allegedly reached out to one of Erika's close friends, warning her to tell Erika to stay away. Since then, Erika has barely been seen at any political functions, and insiders say she's been keeping a low profile. However, that only fueled speculation that there was something to hide. Joe Rogan's timing in dropping this information couldn't have been more perfect or more chaotic, with Erika's name already trending due to other rumors about her late husband's family. This revelation tied everything together in one explosive narrative. Fans started sharing theories about how Joe even knew in the first place. Some believe one of Rogan's political guests told him off the record. Others think Rogan was simply too connected not to know. He's interviewed everyone from senators to influencers who run in the same circles as JD and Erika. As the internet digs deeper, even small details are being analyzed. One Reddit thread pointed out that JD and Erika had matching travel dates to the same conference in Miami last year, and that they were photographed arriving separately but staying at the same hotel. At the time, no one thought much of it, but now, fans believe it was one of many quiet meets. Meanwhile, Vance has remained completely silent. Friends close to her describe her as furious but strategic, saying she doesn't want to humiliate JD publicly, at least not yet. But those same friends hint that if things don't improve, she's ready to walk away, and that could have major consequences for JD's image and career for now. Joe Rogan hasn't said another word about the situation, but the damage is already done. What started as an offhand comment has now evolved into a full-blown scandal that's spreading across every platform. People are demanding answers from Erika, from JD, and even from Joe himself. And if the whispers from inside DC are true, this story isn't even close to being over. Insiders say more evidence, including private messages and leaked footage from that fateful night, could surface soon. And when it does, it might completely expose how deep this connection between Erika Kirk and JD Vance really went, as the fallout from Joe Rogan's shocking revelation continues to spread. The story surrounding JD Vance, Erika Kirk, and Vance has taken a darker, more emotional turn. Insiders close to all three say that what happened after that infamous confrontation changed their lives forever. JD's political team reportedly went into overdrive to contain the situation, trying to manage both the public image and the private chaos that was now threatening to spill into the open. The night Asha walked in on JD and Erika was, according to one insider, the moment the mask slipped. Whatever Rogan hinted at, that scene wasn't just about jealousy or suspicion. It was about trust breaking in real time. Witnesses claim that didn't just quietly leave. She confronted both of them, demanding answers that JD couldn't provide. Erika, meanwhile, was said to be visibly shaken, insisting that their meeting was purely professional. But according to one staffer present that night, the look on Asha's face said everything. She didn't believe a word of it. That confrontation reportedly lasted less than 5 minutes before JD followed his wife out of the room, leaving Erika behind in tears. From that moment, the energy around both of them shifted completely. JD's aides noticed his focus slipping. He became irritable, withdrawn, and paranoid about leaks. Meanwhile, Erika disappeared from the spotlight almost overnight, canceling appearances, turning down invitations, and avoiding social gatherings that she once dominated. By the time Rogan made his cryptic comment, insiders say the entire DC social scene already knew. You couldn't go to a dinner party without someone bringing it up, one political consultant told reporters. Everyone knew Asha caught JD in a compromising situation with Erika, but no one wanted to be the first to say it publicly. That silence shattered the moment Joe Rogan brought it into the mainstream. And the timing couldn't have been worse for JD. He was in the middle of key meetings with political donors when Rogan's clip went viral. Within hours, staffers began receiving calls from journalists asking for comment. One campaign insider said JD looked like a man who'd just seen a ghost when he found out how fast the story was spreading. Meanwhile, Usha reportedly left their shared home for several days, taking the kids to stay with her family. Friends say she was humiliated not just by the betrayal, but by how public it became. Usha's not just a political wife, one friend explained. She's respected in her own, right? So to have her husband's name dragged into this kind of scandal because of a YouTube clip, it's devastating. As the rumors intensified, Erika Kirk's silence became deafening. Normally outspoken online, she suddenly went completely off-grid. No posts, no comments, no public appearances. Insiders claim she's been staying with a close friend outside DC, trying to ride out the chaos. But her absence has only fueled speculation that Rogan's claim hit close to home. Joe Rogan himself hasn't backed down, though he hasn't mentioned names directly since the clip aired. He doubled down in a follow-up episode, saying, "When powerful people play with fire, they always think they won't get burned. But trust me, there's always someone watching." Fans instantly recognized who he was referring to. Reddit exploded with theories that Rogan had either seen something firsthand or heard it directly from someone in JD's inner circle. Multiple insiders now confirm that JD's wife wasn't the only one who saw what happened that night. A hotel employee reportedly witnessed the confrontation from the hallway, saying that you could hear the shouting even before the door opened. They claim that JD's voice was panicked while Usha's tone was cold, controlled, and furious. When Erika tried to intervene, Usha allegedly told her, "You're done here. Don't ever come near my family again." What happened next, though, is what shocked everyone. JD allegedly tried to meet Erika again days later, not to continue their connection, but to make sure she wouldn't talk. A close source claims that conversation turned tense, with Erika accusing JD of trying to protect his reputation rather than take responsibility for what happened. Their argument, overheard by someone nearby, ended with Erika saying, "If this comes out, it won't just ruin you, it'll expose everything." Those words have since taken on new meaning. Insiders believe Erika might have recordings or messages that could prove the extent of her relationship with JD, and if those ever leak, this could evolve from a scandal into a political disaster. Several news outlets have reportedly reached out to Erika's representatives for comment, but so far, there's been no response. JD's team, meanwhile, has gone into full crisis mode. Publicly, they've avoided addressing the rumors, but behind the scenes, they're scrambling to keep the story from escalating. One campaign aide revealed that JD's advisors warned him to stay away from both Rogan and any public appearances until the situation calms down. They told him not to feed the fire, the aide said. But it's too late. The fire's already everywhere. The emotional toll on Usha has also become a central focus. Friends describe her as heartbroken but composed, saying she's trying to keep her family together while quietly considering her next move. Some say she's already consulted a divorce attorney, while others insist she's weighing the political fallout carefully before taking any drastic steps. Either way, she's reportedly cut all communication between JD and Erika and demanded that his phone and schedule be monitored by his staff. For Erika, the damage to her reputation might be permanent. Once seen as a respected widow carrying her husband's legacy, she's now the center of a scandal that has both political and personal consequences. Former allies are distancing themselves, quietly removing her from panels and speaking engagements. Insiders claim that even organizations she supported for years are reconsidering their associations. "Her name's too hot right now," one DC official said. No one wants to be dragged into the fallout. Meanwhile, social media continues to dissect every possible angle. TikTok detectives have uncovered clips from past events where JD and Erika's interactions now look suspicious in hindsight. Lingering glances, inside jokes, and private smiles that seem far more intimate than professional. The clips are going viral, with users adding Rogan's audio as background commentary, creating a mix of humor and scandal that's dominating feeds. Joe Rogan, whether he meant to or not, has triggered a storm that may not blow over anytime soon. What he revealed or hinted at has exposed fractures in powerful circles and shown that even those who seem untouchable can be caught in deeply human mistakes. Now, as the nation watches, the big question remains, will Erika Kirk stay silent? Or will she finally speak and confirm what really happened that night? Because if she does, insiders say she has the kind of proof that could shatter J.D. Vance's image forever. The scandal surrounding J.D. Vance, Erika Kirk, and Vance has continued to escalate in ways few could have anticipated. As more details surface, it's becoming clear that the confrontation Joe Rogan hinted at was only the beginning of a long chain reaction. Sources close to the situation say that the fallout has been devastating, affecting not just personal relationships, but also political alliances and reputations in D.C. Insiders report that after the infamous night, JD attempted to downplay the situation publicly, but privately he was in turmoil. Staffers recount that he became increasingly defensive, avoiding social gatherings, and focusing more on damage control than on professional obligations. One aide mentioned that JD's anxiety was palpable. He feared that any misstep could fuel media speculation, and the Rogan revelation made those fears real. Meanwhile, Vance has reportedly been taking measures to protect her family while maintaining her dignity. Friends describe her as strategically silent but highly observant, monitoring both JD's movements and Erika's activities. There are rumors that she has gathered evidence of her own, including text messages and recordings, to ensure she is prepared for any eventuality. Friends close to her say she is determined not to let the situation spiral further and is prepared to take decisive action if necessary. Erika Kirk, on the other hand, has remained largely out of the public eye. Sources claim that she has been in constant contact with her legal team, aware that any misstep could worsen her already tenuous position. Social media speculation has made her presence almost impossible to ignore, and the combination of public scrutiny and private tension has reportedly left her feeling isolated. Those close to her insist that she is trying to maintain control, but acknowledge that the Rogan revelation has placed her in a highly vulnerable spot. Political insiders suggest that this scandal could have ramifications far beyond personal relationships. J.D. Vance's political network is said to be watching closely, worried that the story could affect his credibility and influence. Some allies are reportedly pressuring him to release a statement or manage the narrative more proactively. But sources say he is hesitant, knowing that any public comment could exacerbate the situation. What has captivated the public is not just the revelation itself, but the broader implications of what Joe Rogan hinted at. Fans and media outlets have been dissecting every clip, every comment, and every past interaction between JD and Erika, attempting to piece together the timeline. The result is a viral storm of speculation, memes, and intense analysis that continues to dominate social media feeds. Friends close to JD emphasized that the real drama isn't just about Erika and him. It's about trust, perception, and the high stakes of personal choices in public life. One insider explained, when you live under a microscope, every small decision is amplified. What happened with Erika isn't just a personal lapse. It's a lesson in how private matters can have public consequences. Some insiders even suggest that this episode has prompted a reevaluation of JD's relationships within his inner circle. Trust, once assumed, now feels fragile. Colleagues, friends, and family are all reportedly on edge, unsure of how to navigate the fallout. This tension, combined with Usha's strategic silence and Erika's cautious withdrawal, has created a charged environment where every interaction is scrutinized and interpreted. Rogan's revelation has also inspired a wave of comparisons to similar high-profile scandals, where private indiscretions have had far-reaching public consequences. Analysts argue that the situation highlights how even influential figures can be undermined by personal missteps. particularly when the internet ensures that nothing stays hidden for long. Social media users continue to speculate about what additional evidence might surface, from leaked texts to potential recordings, and the possibility of further confirmation from secondary witnesses. Despite the chaos, JD's public appearances have remained carefully controlled. He has avoided answering questions about his personal life directly, instead focusing on policy and professional commitments. Political strategists reportedly advise him that maintaining this separation is crucial. But insiders warn that the tension surrounding the private drama is becoming increasingly difficult to contain. Fans have noticed subtle changes in his demeanor, a mix of nervousness and caution that suggests the scandal is taking a toll. Meanwhile, Usha Vance's approach is described as measured but firm. Friends say she has made it clear that she expects transparency and accountability from JD, and that any further missteps could force her to take more drastic action. In public, she remains composed, projecting an image of resilience and calm. Behind closed doors, however, she is reportedly taking steps to ensure that the situation is managed on her terms. Erika Kirk, for her part, has been quietly reassessing her next moves. Insiders say she is aware that Joe Rogan's comments have amplified the scrutiny, and that any visible interaction with JD could lead to more public backlash. Some sources suggest that she is consulting with legal and public relations experts, exploring ways to protect herself. While navigating an increasingly hostile environment, the drama has sparked widespread speculation about potential future developments. Could Erika decide to speak publicly? Will Usha reveal more details to protect her reputation? And how will JD manage the consequences of Rogan's revelation on both his personal and political life? Every day brings new theories, and the story continues to evolve as social media users, political insiders, and journalists weigh in. Observers emphasize that the scandal is a cautionary tale about trust, discretion, and the consequences of private actions in the public eye. In this case, what seemed like a contained situation quickly escalated, amplified by a single mention on a popular podcast. Joe Rogan's platform gave credibility to what was previously rumor, and now the story is impossible to ignore as the weeks unfold. Insiders say the next moves of all three parties, JD, Erika, and Usha, will determine the lasting impact of this scandal. Sources close to the situation insist that while Joe Rogan's revelation started the fire, the decisions made in its aftermath will dictate whether reputations recover or whether long-term consequences will reshape careers and relationships in ways no one can yet predict. The revelation by Joe Rogan about JD Vance, Erika Kirk, and Usha Vance has left the public in shock and social media in frenzy. What began as a casual comment on a podcast has now spiraled into a scandal with potential personal, political, and social ramifications that no one can ignore. Joe's hint that JD's wife caught Erika and him in a compromising situation has confirmed long-standing rumors while exposing the raw human drama behind public facades. Fans and insiders alike are analyzing every detail, from past photos and social media interactions to possible private communications. The story isn't just about betrayal or secrecy, it's about trust, accountability, and how quickly private matters can become public when high-profile figures are involved. Each new revelation adds fuel to a fire that is already consuming headlines, online forums, and political commentary. For those following the saga, staying updated is essential. The next moves of JD, Erika, and Usha will determine the long-term fallout, and experts predict that more details could surface at any moment, potentially altering the narrative once again. This is one of those rare stories where personal life and public scrutiny collide spectacularly, and the implications could extend far beyond the individuals involved. Stay tuned for exclusive updates, insider reports, and all the latest twists in this explosive scandal. From Joe Rogan's revelations to potential new evidence, every detail counts, and missing a single update could mean missing the next shocking turn in a story that's far from over. Keep watching closely because the drama surrounding JD Vance, Erika Kirk, and Usha Vance is only getting started. and the fallout will be talked about for months to come.